Adriana Bertram, and today I'm going to describe how I created my final project for my Excel class using VBA. So as you can see, when you first open up my Excel, you see a very festive red and green tab labeled Start, and you can kind of get an idea as to what it is. So my project basically suggests a gift idea based off of the parameters that you choose. So you can see my parameters here are gender, age range, favorite hobby, and price range. So ideally, when you choose a parameter, so let's do an example, let's say my brother. So you go through each motion. So in this case, I want to choose male for my brother. And then the age range, and he's an adult. You select a hobby, and you have 3 options here. So I'm going to choose exercise. And then the price range here. Now, he's been okay to me, so maybe I should give him less than $75, but I'll be a little nice. So I'll pick this age price range. And then when you click enter, it does its magic, and then a gift suggestion appears. So here you can see that bike lock is suggested, and then the price. So it's the picture, the description, and then the cost. So that's how it's supposed to work. So you choose a parameter, you click enter, and then a gift is suggested here. Now let's say you want to pick a different person. Let's say I want to choose my mom. So you can click the clear all button, and it goes back to the default. So I'm going to choose my mom. She's a female. She's an adult. And then for hobby, I'm going to choose relaxing. And then for the price range, I'm going to choose, let's say $75. But let's just say, you know what? Maybe our favorite hobby isn't relaxing. Maybe it's actually cooking. So I give you the option to change it. However, if you change a parameter, let's say cook eat, the parameters after them goes back to the default. So as you can see, the price range went to default. And the idea is that I don't want the user to start picking something and then realize, you know what, let me change something, and then forget to change the other parameters as well. So I'm going to choose a price range of this and click enter. And in this case, I am being told to buy an apron with leather straps. So that's the premises of it. But of course, there are other nuances that come along with this. So let's just say, for instance, again, maybe I'm going to pick my little cousin who's a female. So I'm going to change the age range. So I'm going to change this to young child. And as you can see, again, the parameters after the fact go to the default, and also the picture down here goes to default. And that's very important because I don't want the previous gift to show up. I don't want anyone to get confused. So again, I'm going to choose a parameter. Let's say exercise. Let's say less than $75. And I click enter. And again, a gift appears. So let's say, okay, I like this idea. I want to gift this for my little cousin. I have a button here that says add gift. And when you click it, the second tab labeled gift list has that gift here. So now I have the female, the gift, and the price, and then the totals here. So as you keep adding gifts, this total accumulates. So now I'm going to describe how I created all this using VBA, which took a very, very, very long time for me to do with a lot of Googling. So I'll start off with the first part with the parameters. So with the gender, age, hobby, and price range, I use the data validation, and that can be shown when you click the data tab and then data validation. So in here, they're all the same, all 4 of them. It's a list, and then the options for that list is on the tab labeled worksheet. So I'm just going to go there. So worksheets here, and you can see here are the parameters and here are the selections. So they all have, gender, male, female, and that's where that comes from. And then next I have my 3 buttons here, and I use macros to do that. So let's start off with the enter button. So for the enter button, I'm going to open up my VBA. So here's enter. So I wrote a little note to kind of help me remember because I did not remember at first. So what happens is, first it copies everything from the start tab to my worksheet tab. So for instance, you click all these parameters and you click enter. When you click enter, what it does is basically copy each one. So for instance, female, it copies it to this tab called worksheet 2. And you can see these were the parameters that I chose initially. So remember, female, young child. Remember I did my brother, male, adult, 75 to 49. So that's what the enter button does at first. So it copies it and puts it here. Then the next part of the VBA, I scroll down some more, it adds the ID number, the GIF, and the description and cost of the VLOOKUP using a VLOOKUP. So here we have these 4 columns. So we have ID. So it concatenates basically an ID number. So each parameter is a specific ID, and that comes from here. You can use any ID. I just chose 0, 1, 2, whatever. So each ID is specific to the parameters. And then here it does a VLOOKUP. So I have another tab called GIFs, and it gets a little crazy, so bear with me. So it does a VLOOKUP off of this ID number. So in this case, my ID number is 211. So it's gonna look on this tab for GIFs. So this tab here basically lists all the IDs. So here's the list down here. And let's just go down to 211. Let's see. If I can do it. Oh, here we go, 211. So again, it's the same thing, female, young child, exercise, and based off the cost, sorry about that. Based off the cost, all right, I lost it, but whatever. Based off the cost, so we have $75, 75 to 59, 150. You have the gift. We have the location of the gift, and I'll explain why you need that. So in this case, for this train set, it's in cell E32, and that's what that says here. And then here is the description, so it's a train set, and then it's the cost. So it does it for each ID number depending on the cost. And it basically does a VLOOKUP for these 3. So that's where the gift location is, the description, and then the cost. And then the next part of my enter button, is that the next part? So then what it does after that is, so I did my VLOOKUP here. It takes a copy of this and then it pastes it back to my start sheet. So it pastes the description for this parameter, the cost, and also the gift ID number. And it's actually hidden. It's in cell C10. And if you remember, that's the same gift ID number that was here. So E40. Same thing here. You can see E40. And what that does is, and I learned this from off the internet, I gotta put the source in, but it takes this picture here. Basically, you see there's a name that says picture. So it takes the picture associated with this ID number. And matter of fact, let me just make it black so you can see. So this picture is associated with this gift ID number. So each time a gift number each time the gift changes here, this picture changes based off of that. So let's just say I had instead cell E31, this picture shows up. Okay, and then next I have my, I think it's the clear button that's next. Let's scroll down. No, it's not. The clear button's on top. So basically what the clear does is just clears everything that is here, here, and also here. So it just clears everything here. And then the last one for the add gift. And that's when I took the gift and the cost and put it on the gift list tab. That's over here. So again, it basically copies. So in this case, it's copying C7. So C7 is the gender in this case. And then it copies the description and the cost, and it puts it on this tab. So this is where this comes into play. So those are my 3 macro buttons that I use for the sheet, but also I also put VBAs on specific tabs, and that's on the start tab. So on here, I have a couple of if statements, and remember what I said before. So in the start, let's just say you change a parameter after the fact. I want everything to default. If you change it. So let's say preteen, everything defaults, including the picture. This VBA on this specific sheet called start here, it does that. So basically it's saying if C7 is changed, then I want you to change the values of the other list to the default. And here also clears the content. So E20 was I'm pretty sure it's the description. Oh, the cost. Okay, it clears the cost because you don't know what the cost is. and it does it for each one. So this is if you change the first cell, so C7 was the gender, and then the next if statement is like, well, what if I change instead E7 is the age range? So it does the same thing as it does for the gender, but it does it for the age range, and so on and so on. So if I scroll down some more, you see the next cell is G7, and G7 is select hobby. So if you change the hobby, then the price range changes. So that's what that VBA does. Okay, and then I guess I can describe how the whole picture thing come about. It was actually it's not too hard, but it is a little hard. So ideally, you need to have an area where the picture will show. So in this case, this is the area, and it has to be the same size as the picture. So if I go back to my GIF, you'll notice like the column width. This is the column width. So it's 39, and this is the height 105. It's the same. Sorry, it's the same here. So I mean, I have merged cells, but I made sure that this width here is 39, and then this was 105, because ideally you don't want the picture to be cut off when you change it. So what happens is, remember before when you click enter, it copied the gift number based on the VLOOKUP, and it puts it here. So what this picture does is it's a linked picture. So it's saying, okay, look in tab gift in cell Q3, what picture is in that one, and whatever picture that is, link it to this box here. So that's what it does. It just links it. So yeah, so that's basically my project. It took a long time, including figuring out the gifts. I actually had to sit there and think of different ideas as to what to get for different hobbies, and if it's a boy or girl. And yeah, so that was my project. I hope you enjoyed it.